and welcome back to the AQA GCSE History, Germany, the Democracy and the Dictatorship, 1890 to 1945 revision series. This is episode 11, and we're looking at the Nazis and the Church. The Nazi Party publicly supported religious freedom, but in reality saw Christianity as a threat. In the 1930s, most Germans were Christian, and the Church was very influential. During the Weimar Republic, the state worked very closely with the Church. They were involved in national matters such as education. Some prominent Nazis were anti-Christian. Hitler wanted Nazi ideology to be spread through the churches. He believed that religion should comply with the state. He worried that the Church would contradict the Nazi ideals. The Nazi Party was very careful to maintain support of both Protestant and Christian churches because they knew they were so popular. But as Hitler's totalitarian state grew, so did control of the churches. In July of 1933, an agreement called the Concordat was signed between the Pope and the Nazi government. Hitler promised not to interfere with the Church if they agreed to stay out of German politics. However, Hitler soon broke this promise to the Catholic Church. The Nazi Party started to restrict the Church's involvement in education. In 1936, all crucifixes were removed from schools, and by 1939, Catholic education had been destroyed. The Nazis began arresting priests in 1935 and putting them on trial, and the Catholic newspaper was suppressed, and the Catholic youth groups were disbanded. In 1937, the Pope spoke out against Hitler in a letter to the Catholic churches in Germany. The view of the Church had changed, and the Catholics were too scared to speaking out against the Nazis. When Hitler became Chancellor in 1933, there were 28 independent Protestant churches. These churches were politically divided. Some formed a group known as the German Christians. They supported Hitler and favoured an anti-Semitic version of Christianity. The Nazi Party supported this version of Christianity and believed all Christians should follow its principles. In 1936, all Protestant churches were merged to form the Reich Church. The Reich Church Nazified Christianity. They replaced all symbols with the Nazi swastika, and the Bible was replaced with Mein Kampf. Only Nazis could give sermons, and the Church suspended non-Aryan ministers. There was little opposition to the Nazis in Germany from Christian groups, but several church members did oppose the Nazis, despite the risk of being sent to a concentration camp. Martin Niemller was a Protestant pastor, a former U-boat captain, and a one-time Nazi supporter. He objected to Nazis' influence in church and was the founder of the Confessing Church. The Confessing Church protested against Hitler's attempt to unite the different Protestant churches into one Reich Church. He used a sermon in 1937 to protest against the prosecution of church members. As a result, he spent several years in a concentration camp. Another key member of the Confessing Church was Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a Protestant philosopher and a pastor who opposed the Nazis from the beginning. He joined the resistance, helped Jews escape from Germany, and planned to assassinate Hitler. He was caught and imprisoned, then executed just weeks before the fall of the Nazis. Clemens August von Galen was the Catholic bishop from Munster, who used his sermons to protest against Nazi racial policies and the murder of the disabled. His protests didn't stop the killing, but they did force the Nazis to keep them secret. Only the need to maintain the support of the German Catholics stopped the Nazis from executing him. So that's the end of episode 11 of the AQA GCSE History, Germany, the Democracy and the Dictatorship, 1890 to 1945 revision series. Next episode we'll be looking at work and home. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.